we must decide who it is that we want to become, and then we need to say no to every single thing that doesn't align with that person who we're becoming, or doesn't move us closer to that person that we dream and desire to become. So back in 2020, I was contemplating on quitting my job for a long time. And the whole of 2020 with a lockdown, I was going to say, I'm going to quit my job, my one and only full-time day job of over 13 years. And then 2021 come around when it was time to actually quit the job. And I got challenged by a friend of mine to actually quit my job. And he gave me a 1 week notice to get back to him, to tell him that I'd done it. And I did. I went through with it. And 1 week after, I went back to him and I said, yeah, I've quit my job. And it was an amazing experience. It was a feeling of, say, relief, excitement, fear. And I'd done it, because in life, it's in your moments of decisions that your destiny is shaped. So I decided there and then to go through and quit my job, which I done. But then I found myself going back to that job because it was so easy. I still had all of the tools. I still had my friends there. I still had my boss that was inviting me. He said, look, come back and you can do 1 day a week. And look, that was amazing of him and so kind of him to offer me that help there to make sure that I had some sort of income coming in. But like I say, I found myself going from quitting my job to, I believe, 4, 5, 6 months without going back one single day, to then being asked to come back 1 day a week. So I found myself going back to the job 1 day a week. And then it turned to 2 days. And then when you become desperate, it turned to 3 days. And at one point, I remember my boss saying to me, would you want to come back for 4 days a week? And I said, look, I can't do this anymore. And there and then, I had to make the decision to give up all ties with that place. You know, I had to burn the boats, burn the ships. Because if we know that we're gonna be able to make it back to that safety of the harbour or the shore or where we come from in the first place, we're always going to say lean on that option of the safety net of going back, you know. So I had the safety net there of as many days as I wanted a week to earn some money and to do what I was doing on the side as well. So I found myself, like I say, working a couple of days, sometimes 3 times a day per week after quitting my job. And then I had to decide, no, I'm going to sell everything I own, every tool that I've purchased over a 13-year period, thousands of pounds worth of tools, 2 toolboxes, diagnostic equipment, electric drills and guns and impact drivers, all of these things that I've accumulated over those years. I had to decide there and then, no more, it's all going. Because people said to me, the average man or society told me that, oh yeah, you should keep all of those tools, you should keep all of those things, because that way, if you ever want to go back, you can do that job, you can go back, you can fix people's cars. But the truth is that I didn't want to fix any more cars. I fucking hate fixing cars. I'm over it, I've been over it for a long time. So I had to choose there and then that no more, cut off all ties and burn the boats. Because if I didn't, I would have still gone back there and just taken that daily wage a week, 2 days wage a week, because it all accumulates. But in life, I say, never let your wage be your cage. And that wage there, the comfort of that monthly income or weekly income was keeping me trapped. And having the tools and the access to the garage was also keeping me trapped there. So I had to decide to cut off all ties. So I want to tell you a little story about cutting the ties and burning the boats. There's a guy that I believe was called Hernando Cortez, and he's a Spanish emperor, I guess, and he decided that he's going to take his teams on the boats. I believe they come from Cuba, and they went over to Mexico, to the Yucatan Peninsula, and he decided that him and his men are going to go, and they're going to take over that side of Mexico. And there's no going back. So when they got off of the ships, he said to his men, we're going to burn the ships. We're going to burn the boats, so there's no way that we can go back. So we're coming here, we're either going to win and we're going to overtake this place, or we're going to die trying. So it's similar to us in life. And no, look, nobody needs to die here. But in life, you need to decide exactly who it is that you want to become, and then give up every single other thing that you've held on to for years and years and years to become that person that you dream and desire to be. Because if you don't, you're always going to find yourself going back to that little comfort net or the safety zone of that old job or that old relationship or that old friendship group. You need to cut off all ties and start moving towards the thing that you really dream of and the thing that you really want in life. Because you need to sacrifice who you once were and who you currently are in order to evolve into that person that you dream and desire to become. Because you can't become who you want by remaining who you are. Because if nothing changes, then nothing changes. You need to give up that person that you once was and start to move and grow into that person that you want to become. Because what got you here will never, ever get you there. You need to start trying new things, going new places, meeting new people. So, all I say, people, is don't go back to what, say, was keeping you trapped for a long time. That job that you hated, or that relationship that you know was so shit for so long, that was causing you pain, stress, anger. Don't just feel like you need to go back just for the sake of going back. Decide, this is where I want to go in my life, and then just start taking daily action steps to move closer to that place. Because if you don't, you're going to regret it in your life. And like I say, in life, not many things are guaranteed, but two things are: that we're all born and we'll all die. But it's what happens with the opportunity between these two events that really matter most. And we only got one try at this life, you know, people. So why wouldn't we go all out and start moving towards that life that we dream of? Because you don't get a second chance at this. You got literally one chance to make an impact in your life, in the life of your families, friends, loved ones. So it's down to you and you alone to decide, right, this is who I want to be, this is the life that I want, and then just start to move towards it. Because nobody, and I mean nobody, is going to come and save you. Nobody's going to come and do it for you. So it's you and you alone that can decide, this is the life that I want, and I'm going to create it no matter what. And then just decide that you're going to do it, decide that you're going to have it, and then just start taking daily action steps to move towards it. One step a day. It doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be something that's so unachievable. It just be one small thing a day, because over time, the compound effect is going to take place, and before you know it, you're going to be in a completely different place to where you currently are. So like I say, people, start taking daily action steps, decide who it is that you want to become, know the life, see the life, visualize it, you know, and start to move towards it. So I'm going to end on this. In life, you need to set your GPS, which stands for Goal, Plan, See. So we all use a GPS or a sat-nav before. In our car, we've been on a plane, planes use it. So you set your GPS. So you set your goal. You begin with the end in mind. Goal. This is exactly where I want to be. You need to know with pinpoint accuracy the exact location where you want to go in your life, what it is, who it is, what it looks like. So you need to know that exact place. The middle part, goal, plan, see. Middle part, plan. So you need to plan the action steps. What action steps do I need to take in order to get to this place? But just know that the action steps are flexible. It needs to be malleable in the middle. You need to allow for flex, because there's going to be movement. There's going to be different paths that are taken, different routes. You're going to have to go backwards sometimes. You're going to have left, right. You're going to have to change it up in the middle. So don't be too strict or too rigid in the middle. You need to be more flexible with the plan. And then you need to see it. Visualize this every single day. See it in your own mind. Because every single thing that has ever been created has been created twice. And that's once in the mind and once in reality. So see that life that you dream and desire to have every single day in your mind. Draw it on a piece of paper. Write it out. Just see it. Do a vision board. Whatever you need to do, see it in your own mind daily. And then just take those daily action steps to get there. So that's me.